In this video, we're getting an overview of the biggest musical acts in the world right now and a little bit of information around them. If you watch this video, you will know more than 99.99% about music as a whole. I hope you enjoy it. It's not a short video, but it'll be worth it. There we have the rare redhead Britney Spears. She is obviously an icon, and she's the best-selling teenage artist of all time, based on her first 2 albums alone. Manuel Turizo is a Colombian singer. You will see a theme of a lot of Colombians and people from Puerto Rico in this list. He got big in 2016 with a single called Una Lady Como Tu. He was born in the year 2000 and he already has a way better beard than I will ever have. Very jealous. So Pink, another icon. One of the things that stands out with Pink is actually that she never does lip sync live, apparently, and she does a lot of crazy acrobatics and stuff on stage. In her teens, she was part of an R&B girl group called Choice before she went off on her own. Fleetwood Mac, I think it's crazy that they have so many monthly listeners. They started out in 1967. Part of how they kept their relevance over time is that they've been featured in a lot of ads. For example, this song, Everywhere, was part of a big commercial campaign for the phone provider 3 in the UK. Gross. Trust any of these bitches I'm with in the back of the taxi sniffing sniffy dust. Ray is from London and has seen her popularity skyrocket this year. In total streams, she's just number 562, but the listener count is another story, so she's definitely on the up and up. Her debut album was kind of held hostage by her label for a number of years, but eventually she was able to get out of the deal and release things independently, and now she's hugely successful. The first but not the last reggaeton artist on this list. So Anuel is a Puerto Rican rapper and singer, and he's very known for his legal troubles and his feuds with other rappers. Again, more reggaeton. This guy's also from Puerto Rico, and he is known for having dated Mia Khalifa for a while. If you get that reference, you get it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. I just talked about this song in my top 10 review I did the other day. Really like this track, actually. So this is Jungkook from BTS. He's releasing an album the day after I filmed this video, so I think he might be even higher just in a few weeks. So very exciting. I like his English speaking stuff. It sounds really good. Linkin Park, something they're really known for and that I really appreciate is their willingness to push into different types of music, fusing metal with electronic and pop elements, and being really meticulous with their productions in particular. Kali Uchis is a Colombian-American singer-songwriter who switches between making music in English and en español. This song, Moonlight, went viral paired together with clips from another music video. While The Neighborhood has a lot of popular songs, this song, Sweater Weather, is by far their most popular. And it recently blew up again on TikTok as a sound, so they've been climbing up this list recently. This I find fascinating. This is Grupo Frontera, and it's a band from Texas, and they were part of the whole, I don't know if you guys remember, but regional Mexican music got really big for a little while on the Spotify charts and stuff, and these guys were a huge part of it. They did a collab with a huge reggaeton musician, Bad Bunny, but making this type of music. Amazing. This is also fascinating to me. So Shreya Ghoshal, I'm probably mispronouncing that,
Shreya Ghoshal
is an Indian singer, and she's famous for a wide vocal range. It's not actually her in the video here. This is an actor lip-syncing to her singing because she is what is known as a playback singer in India. And in the US, playback singer might just sound like someone, lip-syncing their own songs at a concert. But in India, in the Bollywood scene, a playback singer is someone who sings the stuff that an actor then pretends to sing. It does happen in Western movies as well, but not as much. One famous example is Drew Seeley sang instead of Zac Efron in High School Musical. Rema is Nigerian rapper, singer, and songwriter, and he blew up in the US from a remix of one of his songs that featured Selena Gomez. Really random, but I love it.
That girl is a real crowd, please. Small world, all her friends know of me. Young bull living like an old keys.
This is Sway Lee, who's part of the group Ray Srimmerd. I think that's how you say it. He also sang on the Spider-Man soundtrack together with Post Malone, the Sunflower song. He's got a really cool voice, I think. I just looked this up and it's already 5 years since Avicii passed, but we all remember him as one of the most creative people to be in the EDM scene. I mean, the way he fused country with his EDM style was amazing. I thought it was so creative. Rest in peace, Avicii. Speaking of listeners, do you have anyone who really listens to you? Are you happy with your life? Big questions. If you got things you struggle to work on alone, like I definitely do, you might be interested in today's sponsor, BetterHelp. There's real power in talking to someone, and getting your thoughts out of your head can make the biggest difference. But sometimes it's hard to share what's going on in your life, even with close friends. And sometimes those friends and family can't even give us good advice because they're too close to us or don't know how to advise us in a good way. That's where BetterHelp can help. It's easy to get matched with a fitting therapist on BetterHelp. Really, everything about BetterHelp makes it easier to fit this bit of self-care into your life. Jump on a call instead of losing time traveling to get somewhere, and switch therapists easy and without extra fees if you don't gel with them 100%. If you're looking to finally take that step to feel better or improve yourself, you can use my link in the description to get 10% off your first month. You can also visit betterhelp.com/RoomieOfficial and take the quiz to see if it's right for you. It helps this channel, it helps you. Easy. And I genuinely want to see you all feel amazing and be happy with your lives, just like I want that for myself. Thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and thanks to you for listening. You deserve someone who listens to you. And now back to monthly listeners. What a segue!
Oops, I got 99 problems singing bye bye bye. Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time.
Anne-Marie is a British singer-songwriter. She blew up from singing on Clean Bandit's song Rockabye and has been a judge on the UK The Voice since 2021.
I don't know what you take me as or understand the intelligence that Jay-Z has. I'm from rags to riches, I ain't dumb. I got 99 problems, but a ain't one. Hit me.
Jay-Z was named the greatest rapper of all time by Billboard and Vibe in 2023. He became the first hip-hop billionaire, whatever that means, I don't really know. But it should be said that a lot of that money comes from things other than music, like entrepreneurship, and not from his sales of music. You will find this theme a lot, that every artist has like some kind of world record or is called like the king of something. It's just, doing research on this stuff is crazy because you read a lot of PR speak. Pritam, probably pronouncing that wrong.
Pritam.
He's an Indian composer and musician. He has composed music for over 125 Bollywood movies. He also does playback singing, like we talked about earlier.
I don't drive R8s, I don't like those. I drive the Daytona and I tinted the windows. Can't fuck with nobody, not even my shadow.
Playboi Carti is a rapper that blew up in the
SoundCloud
rap scene back in the early 2010s. He's got sort of a minimalistic style and entered the mainstream around 2017.
Had a lot of moments that didn't last forever. Now you in the corner trying to put it together. How to love, how to love.
Lil Wayne is an American rapper, if you didn't know. He came up being signed to the famous Cash Money Records, which also had Drake, Tyga, and Nicki Minaj on the roster. Love that. And this is another Puerto Rican singer and rapper, rose to fame collabing with other reggaeton acts like Daddy Yankee and J Balvin. I think I really underestimated how many big reggaeton acts there really are. Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull. Originally, he was actually part of the reggaeton culture and did Latin hip-hop and crunk, but he rebranded in 2011 as a pop artist. One thing I'm noticing listening to this compared to the other stuff is that they very consciously seem to be taking away a lot of the high end on XXXTentacion's vocals. It's very mid-range centric, but it works really well in the music he was making. If you're unaware, XXXTentacion passed away back in 2018. He was only 20. He was very experimental in mixing influences in his music, and he's credited as part of developing emo rap and SoundCloud rap. I was doing some research for this video, and I came across some gaming videos he was doing, kind of like in a PewDiePie style. They're on his main music YouTube channel, and it was really clear he was this energetic kid, you know, and it made me kind of bummed. Rest in peace.
Going all out when it's better bread and butter. The kid for clout, I put that on my dead brother, yeah. He talk so much, I showed him I'm a real hunter. Won't say it, but he know I still got real cutters, yeah.
So Gunna's an American rapper, and he blew up with a mixtape called Drip Season 3 back in 2018.
It's like you're my mirror. My mirror staring back at me. I couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside me.
Justin Timberlake, most of you are probably aware of who he is. Multi-talented singer, used to be in a Disney TV show together with Britney Spears. He was also part of the boy band NSYNC before going solo, and he's done a lot of acting, for example, in The Social Network. I thought he did a really good job in that one, actually. Quevedo is a Spanish rapper who blew up with the Argentinian YouTube producer Bizarrap, who will be coming up more in this video. He has just worked with everyone and is doing really interesting stuff on YouTube. That's so silly just to look at nowadays. Madonna is obviously an icon, and one of the biggest things about her is that she's known for reinventing herself many times. One of the funniest things is when she was forcing a British accent for a while.
I hadn't quite adjusted to the tabloids.
There's just so many great stories about how she's changed over time. She's not afraid of being a character. She is the best-selling female record artist of all time. I just find it so heartwarming that even such an amazing dancer like Michael Jackson can do that dance, which I feel like I could do, and it doesn't even look that good. Just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too big for my shoes with that. Anyway, Michael Jackson, obviously an absolute icon. In addition to his music skills, he was an absolutely amazing dancer. I recently learned that he was not only part of popularizing moonwalking, which he actually named, but also the robot. James Arthur, amazing voice, I think. Like, really good at runs and a certain type of gritty tone. He got famous through the X Factor. Something pretty interesting about him was that he had a very big controversy a little bit after the X Factor with his debut album, and it's the only time I've ever seen iTunes give refunds based on a controversy. Because usually, if you buy something on iTunes, it's final, but for some reason, they felt like if you bought his album and then he said these offensive things, you were entitled to your money back. So, pretty crazy.
And we gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We gonna let it burn, burn.
Ellie Goulding is a British singer, if you're unfamiliar. She went on a pretty long hiatus recently because there was a lot of rumors about her dating Ed Sheeran and then potentially being unfaithful with Niall Horan, I think, from One Direction. Super weird thing. I don't know if any of that is true, but anyway, she went away for a long time and was really traumatized from it. A couple things musically that stand out about her is that she's had multiple cover songs become hits. A cover of Your Song by Elton John and the Joni Mitchell song River as well. She's also done a lot of kind of weird repackaging string of albums where it's not clear that it's not a new album, to me at least. She re-released her album Lights, and it was called Bright Lights. The data this video is based on comes from chartmasters.org.
Oh no, there you go, making me a liar. Got me begging you for more. Oh no, there I go, starting up a fire.
Camila Cabello, obviously a superstar nowadays, started out in X Factor, but funnily enough, her audition could never be aired because X Factor couldn't get the rights to her songs. We'll never know what she sounded like. Anyway, she was in Fifth Harmony, that was a band based off of that, and then she had her solo career.
Let's go crazy, crazy, crazy till we see the sun. I know we
Dang, they look so young here.
pretend it's love and never, never, never stop for anyone. Tonight, let's get some and live while we're young.
Despite breaking up back in 2017, One Direction's popularity has grown in the last year. They went from spot 94 to 68. Another thing that's really fascinating about One Direction is how closely a lot of their songs are interpolating or, taking ideas from classic rock music. You can compare songs like What Makes You Beautiful with Summer Nights from Grease, their song Rock Me versus We Will Rock You. And this song, Live While We're Young, is very close to Should I Stay or Should I Go? So listen to that. And compare that to the intro riff to the song we just listened to. It's not exactly the same, but even with the mutes, holy crap, that is close.
You were staying in Paris to get away from your parents. You look so proud, standing there with a fountain and a cigarette, posting pictures of yourself on the internet.
One funny thing about the Chainsmokers is that in 2019, they became the highest paid DJs in the world, dethroning Calvin Harris, who had that title for 6 years.
People killing, people dying, children hurt and you hear them crying. When you practice what you preach and what you turn the other cheek.
Well, Black Eyed Peas started out as more of a hip-hop group, but after a while, they rebranded to a pop-rap act and released their third album, Elefunk, which is what really blew them up. I really like Elefunk, I think it's a sick album. But yeah, that meant that they struggled as a hip-hop act for 9 years before blowing up.
So many losing hope in those dreams that they.
I wrote that first verse in Denver.
So Jack Harlow is very relevant right now. He's guesting on all kinds of songs. For example, he has a verse on Jungkook's 3D, which is a really big song right now. He also debuted as an actor in 2023, playing one of the leads in the remake of White Men Can't Jump. Sadly, that movie wasn't received super well by the critics, but still, it's interesting. It seems like there's a fair amount of overlap between being an actor and a singer.
You turn me on like a light switch. When you're moving your body, you roll it around. You got me in a tight grip. You know how to just make me want you, baby.
So I think Charlie Puth is a really amazing writer and producer. I can see him over time both being an artist and writing a lot, similar to someone like Ryan Tedder, or even being like the future Max Martin. He definitely has a really strong sense for melody and catchy hooks. However, I feel like recently he's been experimenting, trying to find a new sound, and I'm not really vibing with what he's done so far. He's got the talent to figure it out, but yeah, it sounds like someone trying to figure out where to go next. Tiesto is a Dutch DJ. He's sometimes called the godfather of EDM. He's very well respected, and I see his name all the time, but honestly, I can't really point out a single song that I'm familiar with that he'd made. I find that such a fascinating place to be iconic and everyone knows your name, but no one can really point to a specific piece of work that you've done.
I got you. We can get high, oh na na na. We can get low, oh na na na. Let me be a friend, baby, let me in. Tell you no lies, oh na na na.
Bebe Rexha is an American singer-songwriter. In addition to her own music, she was involved in writing Eminem's The Monster and other songs recorded by Shiny, Selena Gomez, Nick Jonas. Really amazing writer that made her way into the mainstream as an artist later. Something I've noticed overall is that the average age is kind of higher than you would expect. A lot of people on this entire list are in their 30s and sometimes older than that. Well, you might expect people to be, in their 20s and maybe in their teens sometimes. Most of the most popular artists in the world right now are kind of in their 30s, which is not what I was expecting anyway. Bebe Rexha, for example, is 34 years old. So Arjit Singh, another Indian playback singer and composer. And as we mentioned earlier, playback singer doesn't mean that you're lip syncing to your own song, but that you're singing for someone else to lip sync to for a movie. Why does that make me laugh so much? Maluma is a Colombian singer. He's known for dressing really well and being handsome. Vogue magazine, for example, called him a menswear icon in the making. But you know, in this music video, he's wearing a tank top and this big chain, and maybe it's not as obvious, but he wears a lot of suits and stuff, I promise.
Baby, hello. Fue polito, ya que subiste a tu close. Vi que estabas sola y que querías bellaquear y prender. Vamos a recordar los tiempos del motel.
Bizarrap, he's super interesting to me. He's an Argentine DJ and producer. He's known for his BZRP music sessions on YouTube, and he recently did one with Shakira that blew up like crazy with like 600 million views. It's a really cool YouTube format, and people can listen to it as music as well as watch it as a YouTube video. Really fascinating to see what he's doing. Very cool YouTube channel.
Oh, I feel so sorry. I feel so sad. I tried to help you and just made you mad, and I had no warning about who you are.
What a yeehaw music video. Halsey is an American singer-songwriter. I think her tone reminds me of if you mixed Ellie Goulding and Taylor Swift. She self-identifies as an alternative artist, but I think both me and her fans even would put her in the pop camp more.
Ojalá y algún día sientas lo que yo sentí, pa' que veas que es normal si te sientes solita y me extrañas y se te sale mi nombre.
Fade is another Colombian singer-songwriter, kind of the reggaeton scene. He's collabed with many of the big names like Bad Bunny, J Balvin, Karol G, and more like that. One funny thing is that he says that he prefers hip-hop and R&B, but he decided to become a reggaeton artist because it's more popular with younger generations. He sounds almost more like a businessman than an artist when you see that. McRae is a Canadian dancer and singer. She posted an original song she wrote on YouTube called One Day, which 3 years after she posted it went viral on TikTok and YouTube. She was scouted by RCA Records. Ozuna is Puerto Rican songwriter and rapper. You might know him from Taki Taki, his collaboration with DJ Snake, Cardi B, and Selena Gomez. And again, he is a reggaeton artist, which this list is just full of. They're so popular, it's crazy. Rove Alejandro is sometimes referred to as the king of modern reggaeton, and he's part of the new generation that we've seen a lot of Puerto Rican urban musicians. I feel like a boomer just getting to see a name that I'm more familiar with. I'm like, yeah, Shawn Mendes, I know who that is. Canadian singer who started posting songs on Vine because he was inspired by Justin Bieber's blow up on YouTube. He actually toured with a bunch of other young Viners as part of the MagCon tour, which some of you may remember. Tom Cruise. So One Republic is an American pop rock band. The lead singer is Ryan Tedder, who's also one of my favorite songwriters and producers. I remember One Republic as being the biggest band on MySpace back when I was in high school. If I remember correctly, they were only really beaten by one music act, and that was Tila Tequila. The internet is weird.
Back when the rap game was praying like this, they act like two legends cannot coexist. But I never beef with a nigga for nothing. If I smoke a rapper, it's gonna be legit. It won't be for clout, it won't be for fame.
J. Cole is an American rapper, and he's known for being a little bit deeper than others, tackling topics like racial inequality and materialism. So while many rappers might just be materialists and like to talk about Lambos and stuff, he has a little bit more of a critical approach to a lot of these things, which is interesting.
y 7 en la playa, justo al frente de la orilla. Ella y yo no somos nada, pero solo entre comillas, ella es mi nena.
So Mike Tower is a Puerto Rican rapper. I hope y'all noticed that this was not a reggaeton beat. This is more of a Latin trap vibe. However, he does do reggaeton as well, so it's another reggaeton artist on the list. Crazy. His collab with Bad Bunny and Becky G. That was Chris Brown. Next.
I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor. Feeling like a little kid.
I get so happy from that song. I find Elton John's piano playing inspiring. He knows how to add interest to chord progression without making it advanced or hard to understand. He uses simple things to spice things up, like simple borrowed chords or pedal points.
I've got to break free. God knows I want to break free.
Queen, obviously extremely iconic band. One thing people underestimate with Queen is how elaborate they were in the studio. It's definitely a very produced and perfected sound. And every once in a while I see someone saying that modern music is overproduced and point to Queen as real music. And I find that a bit dumb because there's so much work, like months and months. I don't remember, it might have been years to make some of the records in the studio. My take is that music can feel flat or boring sounding no matter if you spend a lot of time in the studio or no time at all in the studio. It's really just about how hard you work on getting a specific sound, and sometimes that sound can feel really organic or nice, and sometimes it can just feel flat.
I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness. I just kill shit cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA.
Kendrick Lamar is one of the most respected and most influential rappers of our generation. He's not afraid to get intellectual or political, and a lot of artists across the board, even if it's pop artists or rappers, seem to be proud to name him as one of their influences. Really cool music. I have such a hard time not smiling listening to this song. Beyonce is considered one of the best singers of all time, and she's an amazing performer and dancer. I personally find a lot of her new stuff a little bit hard to access. It's a little bit artsy and intricate, but this song is just a dopamine infusion to me. Whenever I put it on, it just makes my day a little bit better. So Sia is another amazing singer and songwriter who actually avoided performing for a while after her fame started growing, and instead she focused on writing for other artists. She's a little bit older than your average pop star at 47 years old, and I think that's why she can bring another approach and a little bit more of an artistic vibe to her music than some of the younger people. Definitely a really cool vibe.
Someone to kiss, someone to kick you. There's nothing that you couldn't slip through. Or at least that's the impression I get, 'cause you're smooth and you're wet and she's not aware yet, but she's your...
Arctic Monkeys is an English pop rock band, and they're considered to be one of the first bands to get traction through the internet, the interwebs, back in the 2000s. And a lot of labels after that tried to manufacture or tried to find bands that could also blow up on the internet. Nowadays, it seems unfathomable that a band wouldn't blow up off of the internet.
Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better. I'm not.
Khalid is a singer-songwriter, not to be confused with DJ Khaled, who sadly is not on this list, even though he makes the best music. Khalid has a raspy, warm voice, which sometimes sounds to me like he's not opening his mouth very much. I really like his collab with Marshmello on the song Numb, and overall, really, really nice voice, really warm, really pleasant.
Bought a spaceship, now I'm a space cadet. Big white mansion in my habitat. Aim a lot of things like a laser tag. Fuck a rich bitch, having rich set.
Metro Boomin is an American producer and DJ who works a lot with the biggest names in rap and R&B like Travis Scott, The Weeknd, and Drake. And in the case of this song, Gunna, who we saw earlier in this list.
Wake up, take a sip of Ace of Spade like it's Sparta. I've been on the Molly in them Zans, but your daughter. If she catch me cheating, I won't never tell her sorry.
Future is an American rapper known for his mumble-style vocals and for popularizing more melodic rap with the help of autotune. that was Daddy Yankee, and one of the people who started the new wave of reggaeton, and he's often cited as an inspiration to other reggaeton artists, like the other ones on this list. He was originally aiming to be a pro baseball player, but he got shot in the hip by a stray round from a rifle, leading him to focus solely on music.
El dolor poco a poco se fue borrando tú y yo.
So that was Peso Pluma, who's a Mexican singer and rapper. He was one of the leading forces behind the recent resurgence of regional Mexican music, which he fuses with urban music like reggaeton.
I'm picking out this dress, trying on these shoes, 'cause I'll be single soon. I'll be single soon.
Selena Gomez probably doesn't need an introduction. She started as an actress on Disney Channel and is now obviously a very successful singer and a businesswoman and producer as well. Her type of highly produced, sensual music is very influential and often emulated by other female singers. J Balvin is a Colombian singer, another OG of the reggaeton wave. He was the first Latino to headline some huge festivals, Coachella, Tomorrowland, and Lollapalooza. That's pretty huge.
Back home to you.
So that is Marshmello, if you couldn't see it already. He's an American producer and DJ. His real name is Christopher Comstock. Trying not to make a pun or like a rhyming joke here. His identity was originally unknown because he always wore the helmet, but it was made public back in 2017.
Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, You're gonna leave 'em all in
Katy Perry probably doesn't need any introduction either, a pop icon. She's considered one of the biggest when it comes to the camp fashion style. It's an aesthetic that puts emphasis on bad taste and ironic value. I love that. While many artists on this most popular list have actually never won a Grammy, Adele has won 16 Grammys. While I think some of that can probably be attributed to her style being appreciated by musically conservative people, as opposed to other types of music that might be pushing the sonic envelope more, there's no denying that she's an amazing vocalist and songwriter.
But he spank me when I get bad. I'm in LA, Rodeo Drive. I'm in New York, Madison Ave. I'm a Barbie girl. Pink Barbie dream house. The way Ken be killing shit got me yelling out like the scream house.
Nicki Minaj is a hugely influential rapper and singer, and she gets mentioned a lot by other artists as an influence on especially female rappers. I just think she's really dope and talented. There's not much more to say than that.
I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. Papa, paparazzi. Baby, there's no other superstar. You know that I'll be your Papa, paparazzi.
Lady Gaga is an American singer, songwriter, and actress. She's known for her image reinventions and is often compared to Madonna.
When you call me baby, I know I'm not the only one.
Sam Smith blew up from being the vocalist on Disclosure's single Latch back in 2013, which I would argue is one of the best vocals on an EDM track ever. It's unreal. He has this signature head voicey free tone, which he adds a very specific grit to sometimes that sounds interesting. I don't really know any other singers that sound the same.
Oye, bebé, ¿qué fue? No, pues que muy tragadito. Yo estoy buscándome el lado. Si sabes que yo errores no repito.
Karol G is a Colombian singer in the reggaeton space. We've already mentioned her a number of times in this video due to how omnipresent she is with a lot of collaborations.
Don't make me sad, don't make me cry. Sometimes life is not enough and the road gets tough. I don't know why.
Lana Del Rey initially released music using her birth name Elizabeth Woolridge Grant, but eventually she adopted her stage name, which she felt had a more glamorous and nostalgic quality that suited her music style. I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised Lana is this high on the list. I always thought of her music as quite alternative and sad sounding, which is not something I look for most of the time when I listen to music, but it's clear that a lot of people do.
Daylight, you got me caught in the daylight.
and calling at all times. Ain't gonna sleep till the daylight.
Harry Styles is the most successful breakout from One Direction so far. Harry seems to have a clear vision of what he wants to do, both visually and musically, and it doesn't really conform to what's fashionable in pop, which I really like. He's inspired by classic rock from several decades, and aesthetically, he seems very influenced by David Bowie. Classic. Having been around since 1994, Maroon 5 is one of the bands that's been around the longest and is still active releasing new music. For the first 7 years, they were not called Maroon 5, but Kara's Flowers. While people make fun of them a lot, I think it's really inspiring and cool that they keep evolving over time and making current pop music decade after decade. There's not really a lot of bands that have done that and just kept being successful.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder. Feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder.
Imagine Dragons is an American pop rock band that broke through in 2012-2013 with their breakout songs Radioactive and Demons. My favorite song of theirs is actually Enemy from the soundtrack to Arcane, the League of Legends TV series. That's actually really good and kind of went under the radar for a lot of people.
The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open. We ain't got nothing to lose, everybody we rollin'. Everybody we rollin' with some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rose.
So Kanye West is another one of the artists that I'm kind of surprised is so high up on the list. One of the most influential rappers of ever, and his experimental approach has earned him 24 Grammy Awards. Very appreciated artist.
Now I got a ball without you, straight up. Now I got a ball, straight up. Now I got a ball without you. Now I got a ball, 21. Now I got a ball without you. Now I got a ball, now I got a ball. Now I got a ball without you.
21 Savage is a British-American rapper. He broke through in 2016 with a collab record he made with producer Metro Boomin, who was earlier on this list. Non-rap listeners might know him best from his guest feature on Post Malone's Rockstar.
You sunk your teeth into me, bloodsucker, fame, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire.
Olivia Rodrigo, another singer who started on Disney Channel. One of her shows was Bizarre Dvark, which some of you may remember as the show Jake Paul was on before he got kicked off for acting weird on YouTube. Olivia is bringing some retro sounds back into pop music with notable influences from bands like Paramore. Post Malone has definitely got full-on pop now. It's got none of that rock star vibe anymore. Such a strong songwriter, even though he came up relatively recently. He played a key role in popularizing autotune rap with his poppier approach, kind of fusing them two together. Fun fact about Post Malone, he's really into Magic the Gathering, the card game, and he paid over $2 million for the unique One Ring card. Calvin Harris is a Scottish DJ, producer, and songwriter. We mentioned him earlier as kind of trading places with the Chainsmokers. He started similarly to the Chainsmokers as well, with some gimmicky songs like Acceptable in the 80s, which was his first hit song. But both Calvin and the Chainsmokers then transitioned into more serious music.
We done lit up every setup, told the preacher I'm never finished, that's to say the least. Buy it, never lease it, but I got a lease. A mobile Mona type of pieces, made gala night, Jesus.
Travis Scott is an American rapper. His sound has been described as a blend between traditional hip-hop and lo-fi. Notably, Travis Scott was a pioneer in digital performances with his live concert hosted in Fortnite.
Little baby, don't you cry, everything's gonna be alright. Stiffen that up, pull it up, little lady. I told ya, daddy said I'll hold ya through the night.
Eminem, he's an American rapper. He was known for his transgressive, controversial music back in the 90s and early 2000s, with a lot of lyrics aimed to just cause outrage or violate established morals. It would be hard to be in the mainstream or even get to stay on some social media platforms saying this kind of stuff that he said back then. However, he transitioned into other styles of music later and is still very, very relevant consistently, as his place on this list shows.
I know it used to be crazy. I know it used to be fun. You say it used to be wild. I say I used to be young.
Miley Cyrus, yet another Disney actress turned superstar. She's known for reinventing herself and her style many times. She's also developed a really cool low and raspy voice over time, which I would argue sounds older than she is right now. It's cool. It's kind of like a middle-aged woman voice in a young woman's body, and it really works with her rocky style she's doing right now. Ariana Grande is known for her huge vocal range and whistle register, and she was originally discovered from record labels seeing her YouTube covers back in 2011. She is the most streamed female artist of all time. So Shakira is actually another Colombian singer on this list, however, of a different generation. She started out in 1990 when she was just 13 years old. And she's still very relevant today and connected to the reggaeton movement. She also looks amazing for 47 right now. I don't care how much work she's had done. That is insane.
Take you to every party, cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man.
Bruno is mainly known for his retro style and has emulated many decades in terms of both music and style. The best concert I've ever seen was Bruno Mars. As far as stage presence, I'm not sure if there's anyone out there that can match him right now. If you disagree with that, let me know who you think is the #1 performer right now.
I supported it through everything. Without it, a little help wish. You've been there when I'm struggling, but you've turned so selfish.
David Guetta is a French DJ and producer, and speaking of people who have been at it for a while, he started out with music in 1986. Interestingly, he sold his entire music catalog back in 2021 for around $100 million. Maybe it's good to get out before AI is taking over, I don't know.
I feel my heart beating. You make me feel like I'm alive again.
Coldplay is a British pop rock band formed in London in 1997. Known for their amazing live shows and timeless emotional songs, they're one of the pop bands with the most longevity ever.
You ain't nothing but a lost cause, and this ain't nothing like it once was. I know you think it's such an outlaw.
While not being talked about in the mainstream as much anymore, Billie obviously has a very dedicated following, being number 11 on this list. She is what I would call an album artist, where people get sucked into the entire works and vision, and you would be hard-pressed to find any Billie Eilish songs with low plays. I have huge respect for both her and Phineas, her producer and brother. They've crafted a unique sound and artist image that's yet to be duplicated successfully by anyone, if it'll ever happen. It's truly standout music, and I wouldn't be surprised if she is popular for decades to come.
I might do my best, not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next, how I get here.
SZA is an American R&B singer who cites jazz singers as her influences, notably Ella Fitzgerald. You might know her from her appearance on Doja Cat's Kiss Me More, and of course from this song Kill Bill. That really killed it, if you know what I mean. Good one, Joe. You did it.
Goddamn, you got me in love again.
So much yeehaw right now.
You got me.
Halsey too. Now Dua. Dua Lipa is an English Albanian singer who played a big role in the revival of disco pop with songs like Levitating and Don't Start Now. Before focusing on music, Dua Lipa worked as a model. In the past, she was sometimes ridiculed for her awkward dancing, but she's worked really hard on it, and now I think she's a great performer.
All I need is a beauty and a beat who can make my life complete.
Justin Bieber is a Canadian singer you might be aware of. He's perhaps the most iconic singer of the last 10 to 15 years. It's notable that he transitioned really well from being a child singer with a very specific haircut to a singer that caters to more adult sensibilities. And if there's another trend I've noticed across all the people on this list, it's that if you want a really long career, it seems that reinventing yourself, especially as a pop artist, is super important.
I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous
Doja Cat is an American rapper and singer signed to Kemosabe, which is the controversial Dr. Luke's record label. She first garnered attention very similarly to Calvin Harris and the Chainsmokers with a novelty song called Moo. Doja Cat sports a really great skill set of Nicki Minaj style rapping and a great singing voice and a strong stage presence.
I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the tree.
Ed Sheeran, he's an incredibly strong songwriter and singer, and I feel like he has great diction. He's really good at delivering lyrics in a way that's believable. His music style is pretty traditional most of the time, and I feel like he could be appreciated in many different decades, similarly to Adele or Sam Smith's early stuff. Ed Sheeran blew up in part from a video posted to YouTube on the SBTV channel in 2010 of him performing his song You Need Me, I Don't Need You, where he kind of did this singing rap style that he doesn't do as often anymore, especially not in his singles.
Rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum. Man down, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum. Man down.
Rihanna is originally from Barbados. While she had some success with Caribbean-inspired music for her first album, she fused that with dance pop for her third album and gave spark to the song Umbrella, which catapulted her into international stardom. I had definitely been sleeping on Bad Bunny. I saw him in the charts every once in a while, but it's kind of similar to the rest of the Latin rap and reggaeton scene. It's hard to take in just how big it is. Bad Bunny was the first non-English language act to be the most streamed artist of the year on Spotify. And while he collaborates with other people in the reggaeton scene like Karol G and J Balvin, he also has a presence in the broader trap and rap scene, collaborating with people like Drake and Cardi B.
I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me.
So the Canadian rapper Drake, he has been credited for popularizing singing and R&B vibes in hip-hop. Like many others on this list, he started out as a TV actor and then started focusing more on music. He has broken more commercial records than I can count, and he has sold over 170 million records worldwide. Taylor Swift at number 2. 2023 is the year of Taylor Swift. If you don't know, she was not on Spotify for a really long time, so her being here so high on the list is just an achievement on its own. I remember a few years ago, Taylor Swift's PR team called another album of hers, like ages ago, a female pop artist in her prime, and it's clear to see that that was not her peak. This is probably her peak right now because she is just the biggest thing imaginable. Very similarly to other pop artists on the list, she has reinvented herself many times. She's also not afraid of taking stances for what she thinks is unfair practices in the music industry. Perhaps part of that comes from her having, FU money. But you have to respect people taking a stand for what they think is right, especially when it would be easier to just kind of, hunker down and take it. Okay, so for number 1, maybe you can guess who this is. It's a Canadian 33-year-old singer known for his atmospheric productions, smooth R&B vocals, and again, artistic reinventions. He began his career by releasing music anonymously on YouTube and gained traction over a few years partly because of the mystery around his identity. He also right now has the most streamed song of all time, and you can get the entire list of the most streamed songs in this video. Here he is, The Weeknd. I hope you enjoyed this overview of the most popular music acts in the world. I will see you very soon. Bye.